Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's class is going to be a little bit of a relax and de-stress class. Some fun bits and bobs added in just to make us forget the day that's already occurred today. Whether it was good or bad, we're just going to give ourselves a nice blank slate to finish off the day with. So to begin with, we're just going to come down to a nice seated position. Just going to stack the spine, really pull the chest out nice and proud. Tuck the chin very slightly, bring the shoulders back. We're just going to soften or close the eyes. We're just going to slow down the breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. So we're just going to just try and slow it down, just focus purely on the breath here. Give yourself a moment just to center and just let all the thoughts of the day just drip away. Okay, from here we're going to come straight up into standing for this first pose. We're going to do reverse pyramid position. So coming forward, standing there, nice tall mountain pose. We're going to take our left leg back and we're going to point the toes out 45 degrees, keeping the right leg pointing forward and then taking both hips to point straight ahead. From here we take our hands, we take them behind us into a reverse prayer position. And what we want to do here is really press into both sides of the palm so it provides a nice big shoulder opener. From here, take a nice big inhale, get up nice and tall, and then as we exhale, we hinge from the hips and start folding forward as far forward as we can before finally resting on top of that right leg. So from here, continue to breathe nice and deeply. You want to push into the outside of both feet, nice and evenly. That'll give us a firm base. If this feels too much, feel free just to give a little bit of a bend in the knee, just to help ease it off. Really push into those hands behind us. Inhale, scooping right the way back up to standing. Then from here we're going to turn the feet around so that the left leg becomes forward, right leg points out 45 degrees, our hips face forward over our left foot. Take a nice big inhale up nice and tall. And then exhale over that left leg. Okay, then from here, inhale, rise back up. Then exhale to mountain pose, bringing the feet together, arms by our side, keeping nice and long. And from here, going to attempt a little bit of tree pose. So if you start to wobble or you fall away, don't worry, we're just playing around with it today. So bringing our left leg up, we're going to take the heel of that leg and bring it in to the side of the right leg, like so. And then if you have a little bit of wobble, don't worry. If this is too much for opening up the hips, just drop the foot a little bit further down, maybe closer to just above the knee. And then if this is okay, try bringing the hands overhead, nice nice and tall. Maybe focus on part of the wall that's nice and straight. Just continue to breathe. And then come back down. Believe me, it's a lot more difficult when you have to talk during it. So even everyone wobbles, so don't worry about it. We'll take it over to the left side, taking the right foot up, bringing it in like so. And then wherever you're nice and comfortable, get stable first. And then start to bring the hands overhead. And then on your fifth exhale, very slowly, carefully bring foot back down into mountain pose. Okay, so from here, going to raise our arms above our head. Nice big inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up to a flat back. Exhale, come down into a plank position. Inhale, up into down upward dog. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to drop the knees down, really extend out the legs. We're just going to see if we can get a little bit more of a bend in the back. Try and pull your shoulders back and away. That might give you a little bit more room to bring the chest forward. And then on your next exhale, we're going to sit back into child's pose. See if you can get your rear to sit on your ankles, resting the head on the ground if that's comfortable. Just continue to breathe nice and deeply. Feel the expansion in the back body. And then from here, it's going to sit up on our shins, like so. And then we're going to take a nice big shoulder stretch. So I'll come forward to face the camera. So we're going to take our left arm overhead and drop the forearm down. Then we're going to take the right arm and bring that over. And we're just going to take a hold the outside of the elbow and pull it in towards our head a little bit more, creating a nice long stretch down. Especially if you've got tight sides, you might feel this in the armpit, might feel it in the triceps. Continue to breathe nice and deeply. If this is fine here, feel free to remain doing this. Otherwise, take the right hand and bring it behind this time. And see if you can take a bind between the left hand and the right hand. If you can't quite get a hold, feel free to use a strap or a tie or a belt or anything you've got at hand that you can maybe interlink both hands to. And then just over time, you'll gradually be able to work your way up until both hands meet. Okay, and then from here, it's going to rotate the hands round, taking the right arm over, bending it over, taking the left arm, and pulling that elbow in. Again, if this is fine for you, feel free to remain here. Otherwise, take that left arm round and take another bind behind the back. Feel free to soften or close the eyes here if that helps. Just focus on breathing and getting as much height as possible, really lengthening through the torso. And then release. And then from here, I'm just going to very slowly come onto our backs. Just taking our time, no need to rush it. And we're going to begin by taking our left leg and bringing the heel just over the right knee, like so. So this is nice and elevated. And then on an exhale, we're going to lift ourselves up just so that we can interlink underneath the right knee, threading our arms through the eye of the needle that we've created, and then pulling that knee towards us, which will create a nice big stretch across the upper back side of the left leg. We're just going to chill out here. Nothing too intense today, just easing through. If you find the left knee coming towards you, feel free to use your left elbow just to push that knee a little bit further away from you. And that should just intensify the stretch very slightly. See if you can just ease everything else off. Just try to soften. Sometimes the most simplest of exercises have the greatest of benefit, because it's a movement that might feel easy to yourselves or relatively straightforward. It means you're not having to engage the muscles so much, which allows them to switch off a little bit easier. Okay, and from here we're just going to let that right leg drop down and very slowly swap the legs over. So the right one is over the left this time. Taking a hold of behind the left knee. And we're just going to hold like so. Don't worry, one side may inevitably feel a little strange compared to the other side, maybe a little bit tighter. This is fine. We all use our bodies differently, and we have different unconscious preferences in using the body, and this can result in tightnesses forming in one area but not necessarily another. So whatever your body's feeling today, just go with it, just embrace it. Again, maybe soften or close the eyes if that helps, just to really start to go internal. Maybe focusing on the breath, maybe taking a scan through the body and notice all the little nuances. Okay, then from here we're just going to lower it back down, and then here we're going to, for those that feel comfortable to, we're just going to come into a shoulder stand. Taking the legs nice and long. Getting your hands down by your sides so that you can really engage. We're going to start by lifting the knees up, like so, just so that we're off the ground. And then we're going to push our limbs over so that our knees are just overhead. And then as we straighten up, feel free to use your hands to really apply a bit of support into the back. coming up a little bit further onto your shoulders, straightening the legs off. Continue to maybe lower the hands further down the back, like so. Continue to breathe nice and deeply here. And just keep continuing. I'll need to shuffle down my mat a little bit here. So keeping yourself in a nice upright position, we're then going to very slowly, 1 foot at a time, bring our legs overhead to the floor beyond our head. And then we're going to uncurl the toes so that the tops of our feet are nicely positioned on the ground. Just continue to breathe nice and deeply. If you can't quite get your feet to touch the ground, just remain up in shoulder stance, lowering 1 foot at a time. What we don't want here is all the pressure to be in the back. So continue to breathe. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to curl the knees in a little bit, and then we're just going to come down 1 vertebrae at a time, nice and slowly, until we come up to a straight back. And then once our back is straight, we're just going to lower our legs to the ground until we're nice and flat on the floor again. And then from here, just give yourself a moment, just feel anything, any differences in the body. And then we'll finish off, we'll take our right knee to our chest. Pulling it in nice and close. Make sure you're keeping the left leg nice and straight. As you exhale, nice and deep, and really vacuum out. See if you can maybe touch your knee with your nose. Then inhale to lower back down. And we'll just very slowly lower that right leg down. Bring up the left knee. Hug it in nice and close. And then again, as we exhale, really vacuum it out. See if you can get your nose to touch your knee. If you can't, don't worry about it. Just take note of where you can today. Maybe it's something you can work on over the next couple of days, weeks, or even months. Then lower it back down. And we're just going to finish off by taking our feet together, part the way in. So our knees are up, and then we're just going to open the knees, keeping the feet together, out nice and wide, so that we're getting a nice stretch across the inner groin. And then from here, wherever you feel most comfortable, so you can either keep your hands crossed over your stomach, you can maybe have them on the floor, you can maybe have them in cactus arms, which is your elbows out wide, forearms pointing towards the ceiling, wherever feels most comfortable for yourself. I'm just going to stay here for a few moments. Continue to breathe in nice and deeply. Okay, and then from here we're going to take ourselves into Shavasana, taking our feet nice and long away from us. Bring our arms down to our side, taking our palms to face up towards the ceiling, opening the feet out to the sides. Take one more full breath in, and then release. And then just revert back to normal breathing. Just let every part of your body just melt into your mat. Okay, then from here, just very slowly roll over onto one side. Very slowly come back up to the seated position. Sit up nice and tall. For those with eyes still closed, flutter the eyelids, allow the light back in. And that's us done for another session. Namaste. Thank you everyone again for coming along to this session today. Little bit of a change in this one. Hopefully we'll see more of these coming forward. So thank you very much. Have a great day ahead and I'll see you in the next one.